Good morning and welcome to Cover Your Assets, brought to you by Craig Nestor, Foreclosure Defense. We've got Mr.
Good morning.
Hi. We've got Todd Ricker here, Mr. Unbiased Advice, and also today, Derek Walgrave, and you are an investment and short sale specialist. And you all can reach us today all hour long with your questions, 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500.
Well, we really have a great show set up today. We have Jesse Keyboard from Daniels & Wymore, who's a local law firm here, and he is our champion litigator for some of our families that may have been wronged in this mortgage meltdown. We see the mortgage meltdown is not quite a simple issue as we all may think. And we're also here with the best dressed man in radio, Todd Rooker, who is the only guy in radio that has a makeup girl, which I still can't figure out how
Well,
that
and I
works.
can't figure out how he's never wrinkled. I mean, he is constantly the most pressed person I've ever seen.
Well, he has a strategy. He dresses that the next place he goes is better than where he's at.
That's not going to be hard to beat, guys.
The only guy I know that wakes up in the middle of the night to get a cookie and puts his jacket and tie back on.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, man.
It's a roast. It's the Todd roast, I guess, huh?
So, guys, tell everybody what we do here at Cover Your Assets. We've got a lot going on, and it really is tied into families, real estate, the economy, and moving forward into the new now.
Well, the American dream was to own a home and then to continue to grow your home with your family, use that home as a move-up vehicle, and then eventually when the kids went off to school, you'd sell that vehicle and downsize and go get a Winnebago or head off to Scottsdale. Well, that dream's being destroyed, and what we're doing now is we are grabbing these families one at a time, and we are navigating them through this unforgiving economy, Todd.
Well, that's what it is. People are out there, don't know what to do, don't know what decisions to make and which direction to go. Their houses are upside down. They've lost their jobs. Their income's been cut back. They've lost the overtime, the bonuses. And now a lot of the strategies that worked in the past that allowed them, frankly, to overspend their incomes and then recover by getting the bonus, getting the tax refund, refinancing the house, those things don't work anymore. And in the past, even if a person got to a position where they were somewhat upside down, maybe in a little bit more home than they could have afforded, it really wasn't such an issue because with an appreciating market, the value of the home going up, you could sell your way out of that problem, resize, and move back into something that was more affordable. Today, you make that mistake, or if you did make that mistake, there's very little room for error, and recovery is going to be dramatically tougher. So we help people navigate, and as I say, the people who come to see me often are people who've never missed a payment in their lives. They're considering whether or not they should do a short sale, let the house go into foreclosure, consider loan modification, strategic mortgage defense, as Craig and Jesse talk about, whether or not they need to consider bankruptcy, whether or not they need to consider, credit counseling. Maybe there's more things than just the mortgage because they've been using credit just to try to make their payments on time because they don't know what to do. And then once they go through the storm of either keeping the house with a modification or walking away, they have to try to recover afterwards. And so our job is to try to help them before, during, and after that entire process.
And the interesting part about really Craig and Todd, you both have this in common with regard to the mission of Cover Your Assets. You guys don't have any particular skin in the game of who you refer someone to. You will sit down and figure out what exactly they should do and refer them to that appropriate person. So it's not necessarily, and I'm not saying that you are biased, Derek over here, who isn't, you're a real estate
biased.
agent.
I'm very biased.
But you guys will say, yeah, short sale, great, within the context of a bigger picture versus somebody who, if they just went and talked to some real estate agent, they might say, oh, you should absolutely do a short sale, right?
When a person does it, when a person considers a short sale, they're often looking at one and one thing only, which is the house. And frankly, the house is almost always the pivotal issue that makes a determination as to which direction they go. But they'll tell me, well, I know I need to short sale my home. And I say, why is that? Well, because I can't afford my home. And I say, yeah, but you've got a second mortgage of $140,000. And unless you've got the money to be able to negotiate that $140,000 second mortgage, the premise from the bank is that they'll do a long-term, low-interest loan over the next 10 or 20 years. And when you walk away, if your first mortgage is not dissimilar from what you'll pay in rent, you're going to have a second mortgage you're going to be paying on even when you don't own the home. Plus, you've got outstanding credit debt that you may have as an issue as well. So walking away from the home in a short sale may not fix anything, and people don't put enough thought into all of these. So if someone says that to me, I say, well, look, if we've got a home whose value is underwater substantially, are you certain that you need to walk away from that home? Maybe we could modify that loan and keep you in it. Maybe we could go to war and use Jesse's service to even get something as extreme as principal reduction and modify that loan to a point where you can afford it. Or maybe, God forbid, you could go to bankruptcy. We could include the second mortgage within your bankruptcy, discharge your second mortgage, also eliminate all of your unsecured debt, and then also modify your first mortgage so your payment is now less than your current first mortgage. No second mortgage, no unsecured debt. And then if we could do that, would you still want to walk away from your home? Well, my God, that changes everything, they'll say. Well, that's the kind of options that we can put on the table.
Now, see, folks are exhausting their savings accounts. They are spending through their savings. They're spending through their 401k in the effort to do the right thing. Their home is being threatened. Bill collectors are calling. They need someone who can help them decide and execute a strategy, not someone with an agenda. And the reason why they need help is the reasons or the solutions that we have used in this country for the last 100 years are no longer available. You cannot refinance your home. You can't refi. You can't borrow against your equity. You can't sell your home and downsize for a profit. You can't go out and make more money. We're up against a recessionary type economy. It's just different now, and our solutions are very tactical and strategic in the new now to help people get to the right place.
Well, they are different, and not everyone is in that situation. Obviously, there's still people who actually have equity and they have options. Having said that, if you're sitting there with equity, bearing in mind that the economists are expecting the market, that is the residential real estate market, to decline another 10 to 30% over the next 24 months. So if you do have equity today, your options are fleeting as the market continues to decline. And so you need to have, as Craig said, a tactical strategy to be able to address and deal with this. The other thing is that I wanted to bring up is that oftentimes I'll be sent a client by a real estate agent and they are already sold on the fact that they must do a short sale. Well, as you can tell, unbiased advice says, look, maybe you don't need to do a short sale, even though you were referred to me by a real estate agent. Wonderful that they were willing to do that, but I may turn you in the other direction because that may not be the best option.
Okay.
That's unbiased advice. That's what that is.
And that's important. And Derek, from your standpoint, everybody would say, well, yeah, how can he be helpful in these times when he makes his living selling real estate? Explain your kind of role and how you guys look at this.
Well, that's a good point coming off of what Todd just said. The national average right now is about 35% on success rate of short sales. We are 90%, right around that 90% range. And the reason for that is we get clients from Todd who know their options, and or we give them an idea of what their options are and send them to Todd. So a lot of times when clients come into us, that we know that short sale might not be the best option for them. And that's why one of the reasons our success rate is so high. Because when we take their listings, it's going to be a successful short sale because we know what their options are. And so do they. So that's a big part of all of this.
There's no trepidation in the decision making. They are certain that this is the best path because we've explored every option and we look at what the contingency A, B, and C are, best case scenario moving down. When they go to do a short sale, we want to do a short sale and we want to get it done and we want to get it done right. So the wonderful thing is that I can surround myself with people who are the best in the business, and when I send that person to that individual practitioner, I know they're going to get it done. They're going to get the best service that is available. So when we pursue a path, we succeed.
Okay. Now, coming up, we're going to talk with Jesse Keybort from Daniels and Wymore, and we're going to go into some stories about people and how we've helped them and what it really looks like from an actual person's scenario and viewpoint. You can talk with us as well, 855-835-8500. The number to reach us during the show and after actually is 855-835-8500. You can also visit us at coveryourassets21.com and download something really cool. It's the Financial Crisis Bible. Right,
Financial Crisis Bible is going to give them a broad overview of all of these different options that we're discussing, and with that information, they can make the best decision.
Absolutely. Coveryourassets21.com. Check it out there. It's free, and it's got a lot of great information no matter where you are in your financial situation. Cover Your Assets. We'll be back.